What's going on, guys? Jada Black here. Salute to everybody tuning in. I want to talk about this breaking story. I'm going to talk about Terrion Arnold and him being arrested after an investigation into a robbery that they feel like he conspired to. And apparently he used two girls to set up guys who he thought stole from him. Now, this is according to reports. I'm not saying he did it, but this is what reports are saying down in Florida. But he's been formally arrested and charged. And the thing is that this story actually broke, I think, some months back, but he didn't get arrested for it. So that's why I never spoke about it. And it's a bad situation for Terrion Arnold. He is a defensive back for the Detroit Lions out of the University of Alabama. He's a promising young player who once again got caught up in street logic. All right. Instead of him contacting the police, he decided to take justice into his own hands, according to reports. Now, this is his official statement of denial, but I want to get into the details. Y'all want to hear the details? We're going to get into the details, all right, of Terrion Arnold and why he might be cooked, okay? But according to this sports reporter, it says the full Terrion Arnold story, according to Tampa police, is stunning. Police say this all started after Terrion Arnold and several others had property stolen from an Airbnb Arnold rented in Largo in early February. Investigators say Arnold believes some of the eventual victims were responsible, even though police later determined, this is very key, police later determined they were not involved. So Terrion Arnold decided to take matters into his own hands, even though police say, hey, this guy's had nothing to do with it. And the funny thing is, the people who were arrested, and I'm going to show y'all the people here, they were probably the ones involved. The people who were there, who are pointing the fingers at these other people, were probably the ones who did it. According on February 3rd, police say Arnold and Bokai Hilton, who investigators say coordinated the alleged setup, directed Ariana Del Val and Jasmine Randazzo, is that I pronounce it, to contact one of the victims and lure him to an apartment in Tampa. I'm telling you, these setup chicks, man, I have no sympathy for setup chicks. I think setup chicks are grown enough to know what they're doing. These women chose to do this. They weren't coerced. They weren't forced, and I bet you these two heifers are the ones telling. They're the ones telling, I guarantee you. Around midnight on February 4th, investigators say the victims arrived at the apartment. Once they entered a bedroom, police say Christian Williams and Lindell Hudson, who had been hiding in a closet, jumped out, grabbed the victims, and held them at weapon point and attacked them. Investigators say the incident was streamed to Arnold, Hilton, and Freddie Hughes while they were traveling to the apartment. Police also say there was a group chat involving the defendants and that Arnold and Hilton gave directions through that chat while the attack was happening. Terrion might be cooked. Terrion Arnold got jailed by using setup girls to set this in motion. Then he had these other dummies who followed his orders because he's the money man. But Terrion has to understand something. If this is true, we don't know if this is true. This is according to the reports. But if this is true, you have a lot to lose. And instead of you actually using your resources to get your stuff back and find out who did it the legal way, you decided that you wanted to be in these streets. And let me tell you something, Terrion. Once you start doing street justice, there's no coming back from that. About an hour later, police say Arnold arrived at the apartment with Hilton, Hughes, and another person, and that he directed them to go inside while the robbery was still going on. Investigators say that property was stolen from the victims during the attack. At around 1:40 a.m., police said the victims were escorted out of the apartment by armed suspects and forced into their vehicle before leaving the scene. Police say that Delval Williams and another individual then got into a vehicle driven by Arnold and left the area. The victims later reported the incident to Tampa police and identified the suspects. After search warrants were executed and the investigation continued, detectives arrested multiple people in the case over the following weeks. Police say Arnold was the primary conspirator in the alleged robbery kidnapping plot. He turned himself in Wednesday night and is facing 4 counts of kidnapping and 4 counts of armed robbery. Do you know why them dudes ran to the police? Because they know that Terrion has a lot to lose. They do. They know he has a lot to lose, and they wanted payback, right? You know how Terrion wanted payback? Well, these guys wanted payback, and they made sure to go to the police because they could have kept this to themselves, right? But no, they decided to go to the police because they wanted him to get in trouble. Because you have a lot to lose, Terrion. And apparently, the police say that they weren't the ones who stole it. And the funny thing is, the people who probably stole from him are the people who helped him set it up. And they're laughing at him if they haven't been charged. They're laughing at him. I'm talking about Terrion. Because you got tricked out of your freedom over something that didn't happen. They didn't steal from you. This is why, again, you have to have better people around you, because it's clear he was lied to. And instead of him, again, using his resources to handle it the legal way, he decided that he really wanted to be a street dude. And that may cost him everything. Now, he released a statement, according to Yahoo Sports. Detroit Lions cornerback Terrion Arnold has issued his first public statement following reports that he was arrested and facing multiple felony charges. The statement, released through Denise White, CEO of EAG Sports Management, shared by David Burkett of the Detroit Free Press, strongly denies the allegations against the former Alabama standout and expressed confidence that he will ultimately be cleared through the legal process. He better hope so, because this wasn't made up out of thin air. Unless the people around Terrion did this themselves, it's just not looking good for him. Is somebody going to take the charge? Don't look like it. Is that because ultimately, let's say if he didn't do it, then if the legal process plays itself out, he will be cleared. But I just don't see that. Somebody telling, because that's a lot of information the police knows already, inside information, which only a person who was a part of the whole quote unquote plot would know. So people are already talking. Arnold's statement comes shortly after Detroit Lions acknowledged the situation, saying the organization is aware of the legal matter, but would not comment further out of respect for the ongoing legal process. This is the statement here. Terrion Arnold categorically denies any involvement in the matters underlying the allegations made against him and maintains his innocence. There is no credible evidence linking Mr. Arnold to these allegations. Instead, the government appears to be relying on testimony. He said the government, not the state. The government appears to be relying on testimony from multiple convicted felons who have admitted their own involvement and may have substantial incentives to shift blame in an effort to lessen their sentences. Mr. Arnold looks forward to his day in court and is confident that the judicial process will lead to his ultimate vindication. Okay, I hope so. I hope I can say Terrion Arnold has been vindicated. I want to be able to say that. I want to be able to say he was vindicated in this situation. That's what I want to be able to say. As the legal process moves forward, Arnold's representatives have made it clear that the former first-round pick intends to vigorously contest the allegations. Additional information is expected to become available as court proceeds. Well, again, this situation has been going on since February, and I told y'all when this stuff initially broke, the reason why I didn't do a video was because he wasn't arrested. It was the people around him. It was these people, the individuals right here, These are a lot of people getting arrested for him to not be involved with these people. Now, again, these people could have taken the law into their own hands. Why? Why would they go after these individuals if they stole from him? If they did it on their own, did they do it because they wanted to get on his good side? What about the fact that they have a group chat? Apparently he's a part of this group chat. Social media will always be the undoing of people who do wrong. And again, for his sake, because I'm not sitting here rooting against him. I hope he's innocent. I don't want to see a young black man lose his career over an emotional mistake, right? But again, according to him and his legal team, he is innocent. And he is innocent until proven guilty. But there's just way too much smoke and way too much information that points to him, unfortunately. Unfortunately, he's looking cooked. Terrion Arnold is looking cooked. And it's just not good. He's an NFL player who has worked his way to the position that he is in. And I just hope that he doesn't squander this. I hope that it was just the people around him who decided to get back in his name. But if you look at all the information that the police department has, that's a lot of information. That is play-by-play information that they have of this situation. And again, for Terrion's sake, because he has a lot to lose, for his sake, I hope that he's cleared. For his sake, for his family's sake, I hope he's cleared. And I hope it was a situation where the people around him decided that they wanted to go and deliver their own street justice and rob these guys, right? Because were they looking for the items, or were they looking to just rob these dudes? And these guys who are the victims, they weren't even the ones that did the crime. So who did it? It had to have been somebody else around Terrion who did it. And those are probably the people who were named in this report as the ones who set up this robbery. Could have been. So let me know in the comment section below. Let me know your thoughts. Like, if you don't share it, follow me on all my social media platforms. And I'll see y'all on the next one.